Oh gosh! I didn't know
Don't you love a good surprise?
no, I wasn't ready. I thought we were just getting prepared for the video.
I'm Shay. This is Francis
Hey,
from
guys.
findyourcrazy.com. Being a
boy.
little bit crazy. Today, that's what we're talking about actually, is surprises. Don't you love it when you get a good surprise?
Well, if it's good, not when you think you're just hanging out watching your kids swim.
Well, today we're going to be talking about surprises and an amazing surprise that we had when we learned another one of those great RV lessons. All right, so we all enjoy a good surprise.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we got on our last trip. One of those surprises that's really the best kind, and that's the kind that you're not even looking for. It just comes out of the blue, and it's just one of those beautiful, beautiful things. We talked a little bit in our last couple of videos about how it's so important for us to slow down, and we really learned that lesson going into the beach. And so coming out of the beach, we were being a lot more intentional about slowing down, traveling. We went back to something that we had stated from the very beginning, and that's that whenever we travel, we try to follow the rule of two. And that means that we never drive more than 200 miles. We never stay less than 2 days at any location, and we always try to be there by at least 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that way it doesn't feel like we're just drudging day after day after day.
Right.
Which we'd gotten a little bit into. We had even hit a couple stretches like we talked about where we had gone a couple of one-night stays, and that racks up really, really fast.
It's hard on our family.
Oh, yeah. And so we decided, you know what, we're going to start being more intentional. And so coming out of Florida, we had gone down to deal with Orlando to deal with some stuff for my daughter's wedding. And so we were coming back up, and we were headed for the Great Smoky Mountains. And we really wanted to get there. We really were excited about that. It was so exciting. And so there was that temptation again. Go.
Yes.
And honestly, we thought, you know what? Like, we live in Atlanta, or did for 13 years before we set out on this. And so there was really nothing attractive, so to speak, between Orlando and the Great Smoky Mountains. And so we were tempted again to break all those rules and to start going, but we didn't. We said, nope, let's find some spots. Let's follow our rule of two, and let's see what happens. And so we stopped in Lake City, Florida. If you've ever been down into Florida on I-75, you've passed it, even though you probably had no idea. And so we stopped and we pulled into a great little RV park that was just off the interstate.
Yeah.
We got there right after lunch. We said, hey, let's figure out something to do. And so we ran into the little bitty town and we got some food, and Frances pulled up her phone and said, okay, what's around here?
And really what I was looking for was somewhere to get in the water, because it's been hard right now during COVID because we have found wonderful campsites and beautiful pools that are all
pools. Zero
closed.
pools you can get in.
That's right. There's pools and they look really wonderful.
Yeah. Zero you can get in.
But zero you can get in. And we had just been tired of being hot, and our kids are riding bikes and we're hiking, and everybody just wants to get cooled off. So really I was looking for any kind of water that we could actually get into. And that's what led us here.
And so just with a quick Google search, we found this little spring that we could go get into. And so we said, you know what, that's it. Let's go back. Everybody's getting their swimsuits on and we're heading there. In fact, we almost didn't because there was some rains. We could see some clouds on the radar coming in, and we said, nope, it's low percentage. Even if it's here, it's probably not going to last long. Let's just go. Let's go see what it is. And so we got in our car, we drove there, we got to the parking lot, and boom,
downpour.
It started downpouring.
He is a really big stickler for lightning strike, which is a good thing. But he's got it up on his phone.
The years I spent as a lifeguard. No lifeguard.
Speaking of sitting in the lifeguard chair on a beach, as we can watch our children play right now.
Nope.
So he was on his phone and he was like, nope, that was 7 miles away. Nope, that one was 6 miles away. We can't go in. And so we are just huffing and puffing, and the kids are we're like within striking distance, and we really don't even know what is down the road. We have no idea what surprise
all we know so far
down.
is the parking lot.
Yeah.
Cost us $6
no one
to get
was
in the
there.
parking lot. So there was nobody else. There one other car.
One other car.
People trying to wait it out. And so we said, nope, look, we're committed. And so we waited a few minutes, and sure enough, the rain stopped. We got out, we got our life jackets on, and then we were blessed with an amazing, amazing, beautiful surprise.
Go.
Joe, how do you feel about that sign?
I don't want to go for that.
Why not? What does the sign say?
It says,
Uh-oh. You think there'll be alligators down there? That's right. We found that amazing, beautiful, crystal clear spring pool to swim in, and it was at
Ichetucknee
Ichetucknee, good job. Ichetucknee.
That's not easy to say.
State Park. No, like we had to Google how to say it.
How to
like,
say it,
when
and I don't even know if we
found it
really,
online,
and I don't know if we
we're
really
going
got it
over
right.
there. It's like, where are we going again? I don't know. Ichetucknee.
Ichetucknee, Joe's got it.
And so we got there, and this is just a pristine, beautiful state park, Florida State Park. It's 2,600 acres. It's actually in Fort White is the name of the town that's in, but Lake Cities is the stop on 75 that it's right to. It's probably took us maybe 15 minutes to get there, and it's just unreal. The park itself is made up of 6 different natural springs, crystal clear springs, come up out of the ground, and then they all join together to make one little small stream, well, not big stream, little river, I guess, that flows through it. And so there's 2 entrances on 2 different sides of the park, and we went to this one side this day, and really honestly we thought that was it, that this one spring was it. It's beautiful, it's shallow. I mean, I can't tell you how crystal clear it was, and the kids, we loved it, other than it being what? Ichetucknee. That's right. But what was the water? Was it warm or was it cold?
It was cold.
It was
very cold. And we also had to miss out on another really important part that's there, and it's a place right off there called the Blue Hole, and it looked amazing. But of course, due to COVID, it's a smaller area, and you can go there and you can kind of snorkel dive down, and it's really for more advanced swimmers. So our little kids wouldn't have been able to go anyway, but Jay and I were hoping to get an opportunity, and we'd like to go back. But if you go there, you really need to look into experiencing the Blue Hole, because that just looked absolutely
the one spring
amazing.
that we swam in bubbles up just right there in that little shallow open pool.
Super calm.
The Blue Hole bubbles up basically into kind of an open cave that has a little bottleneck opening at the top, and so you can snorkel into it, or you can scuba dive into it, but it is an advanced swimmer because they said there's some currents in there, but we would definitely have done it had it been open.
Absolutely.
We were super jealous.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't take from the time that we spent, and it was overcast because it had just been raining, and it was still unbelievably beautiful. We had such a great time at State Park, and when we were there, it cost us, like I said, it cost us $6, $6 to get in and park. That was all it cost us for all of our huge family. Amazing. Bathroom facilities right there. I mean, it was just amazing.
Beautiful. It's back on these really boardwalks, so it's easily accessible. So you can get there. There is easy walking, and it looks like a rainforest back there. It is just in this lush, beautiful Florida green environment with this crystal blue just playing off of each other. It was just a myriad of beauty for all the senses. Everything about it was really picturesque. We took amazing pictures, and it just doesn't even capture it because it is so incredibly beautiful.
So we were unbelievably surprised to have found this, but as we were standing around, we started looking at the boards that they have around that describe everything, and we realized then that there's a whole nother side of the park. And so we started looking at it and found out that there's an amazing tubing trip down that. And so the next day, we went down the tubing. It was unbelievable. They basically, the concession stand where they rent out the tubes and they sell food and stuff is right in the center of the stretch that you tube on. And they have 2 trolleys that leave from right there. One takes you to the head and you come down to the middle, and then one goes to the end, picks you up and brings you back. So you can do one of 3 things. You can actually get there and just walk straight out from the concession building, get in the river and tube down and then walk back up. Or you can pay the tram ticket, which is what we did, which takes you to the top, and then you can go all the way down. It's about each section's about 45 minutes, so it's about 1.5 hours to 2 hours if you do the whole thing. And what we didn't know, we got there late, what we didn't know is that the tram ticket's good all day long. So we just did one time because we were right at the end and didn't have time.
Would you have gone again?
Yeah.
Yes,
but
we would have gone more than once.
If we had been there early, we would have gone, done it, maybe taken a lunch. There's tons of picnic tables, eaten our own lunch, and then done it again.
All
you can do as many times as you want to all day. And that's because it was one of the most surreal, beautiful tube trips that we've ever done. Take a look.
It was absolutely an epic surprise adventure that we never even imagined or planned for. And sometimes those are the best kind of
Best
destinations,
surprises. Yep.
are those that you find along the journey. When you slow down, when you take your time, and you begin to experience what is all around you. And that is just such a great lesson that we're learning, is to find joy along the journey. And sometimes that slowing down pace really helps us to experience the beauty. You can do that at your own house. You can explore what's just around you. During COVID, maybe you're not traveling very much, but maybe there's a trail right down. Maybe there's a playground that is open that you can experience. Or maybe there is just a nightly walk around where you can stop and look around. Because when we slowed down and we stopped and we sat in those tubes for a couple of hours, what are some of the things that we got to see that maybe if we hadn't taken that journey on that float trip that we wouldn't have gotten to see? So what are some things you saw?
Fish, snakes, and turtles.
Turtles. And how big were the turtles?
Like this big.
They're like this big. And what were they doing? Were they sunning themselves? They were taking some time on the journey just to enjoy the day. And when we were just on those tubes, it really caused us to just look around, to open our eyes to conversation with each other, to be able to see the beauty all around us that God has surrounded us with. There's nothing to do for a couple of hours. And that was really, really, really wonderful for our family, who had been going so quick and so fast with so many changes and plans, venues, destinations, wedding planning. It was just so refreshing for us to slow that pace.
We never would have looked for this place.
No.
I mean, like, what's the name of it?
Ichetucknee.
Ichetucknee.
We think. I don't know.
Never, that would have never been our radar.
Right.
Had we not been intentional about stopping, following that rule of 2, and being there 2 nights, and then just kind of looking for something to do, we never would have found this place. And then when we did find it, it was just, I mean, to say it's unreal. We've been tubing a bunch.
Yeah.
Tubing's fun.
Yeah.
This was a whole different kind
It
of
was.
experience. I mean, it was literally like going back in time or going to Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Like the mangrove trees, the water was so crystal clear.
Yeah.
Even when it was 6, 7, 8 feet deep, you could see the grass on the bottom, crystal clear flowing, and you could look down, straight down, and see all the fish, couldn't you? I mean, they'd just be swimming right up underneath you.
And our fishermen were so sad they didn't have their fishing hooks, because you could see these great fish.
You could almost reach down and grab them.
You could. It was just really, really an amazing opportunity, and really brought to life the lessons that we have been learning, that we've been sharing with you guys, just to slow down, to make family a priority, of spending time with those that you love. And when we're running at such a breakneck speed, and when we have our agendas and our to-do lists, and everything seems to run us, we find that it is really, really difficult to connect with people that we love. When we're focused on the destination, when we're only focused on what's next, we lose what's right in front of us. The people, the sights, the glory and the beauty and the opportunities all around us. And it's so easy to become goal-oriented and task-oriented that we don't
Easier for some of us.
Yes, and we don't see the joy in the journey and those moments.
Those little daily destinations.
Yeah, and so, like I said before, you don't have to be traveling full-time in your RV to experience this. We can stop and take moments to play in our yard. We can garden. We can just take a walk around the neighborhood and see who we find to make a new relationship with. We can say hi to a neighbor, and maybe in those moments you have a surprise that you never imagined. Because when we slow our pace, slow our minds, and slow our agendas down, wow, we leave room for relationships. We leave room for people instead of plans. And sometimes the people are the best plans of all.
Well, it allows us to be 100% present.
Yeah.
That's a quote that we love in our families. Wherever you're at, be 100% there.
Present.
Be present.
That is hard to
and sometimes it's hard to do with our phones and our schedules.
Distractions everywhere.
Slowing down, and that was another great thing about this trip. Like, we left all our phones in the car.
Yes.
We took one GoPro.
Yep.
That was it.
That's it.
And so, I mean, it was unbelievable. And it was a total out of left field, unlooked for surprise that we never would have found had we not slowed down. So,
Ichetucknee.
Hey,
Ichetucknee.
and what we want you to do is if you would leave a comment in the description box, in our comments, about a surprise that you've had, because we're always looking for surprising places. We're going to be all over this United States. So for wherever you are,
What's
we
that
would
out
love
of the way
to hear.
place that nobody would be looking for? Pass right by
In
if
your
they weren't
town,
paying
or
attention. Maybe in your town.
somewhere you've been.
That is one of those surprises that is a must see if you know to look for it, if you're taking the time to go
That's
there.
right.
Leave us a comment and let us know.
We'd love
us
to hear
and
from
everybody
you.
else is watching.
Yeah.
What are some of those places that we shouldn't miss no matter what? So with that, go out and find some of those wonderful surprises. Have some of that crazy fun with your family this week.
And don't miss
Ichetucknee.
Ichetucknee.
That's right. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
So we hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, give us a big thumbs up, give us that like. You can also subscribe to our channel to make sure you don't miss any of our fun, crazy adventures as we share our faith, family, and fun with you. If you missed our last video, you can catch it by clicking right over there.
And don't forget to leave a comment. Let us know the biggest surprise you've had that we shouldn't miss.
See you next time.
Bye, guys.